Hello folks, welcome to Puncher's Sports TV. We're having a conversation with the former Banks champions. I am Terry Duggan of Puncher's Sports TV, and with me doing the interview is Mr. Rudy Gill, the founder of RoadTennis. He's one of the officials here in Barbados where RoadTennis is concerned. He has been doing a tremendous job. And the main man is Mr. Mark Cox, the former Banks champion. How are you doing, sir?
Not bad, I'm doing pretty good.
Welcome to Puncher's Sports TV.
Thank you.
And you are one of these elite road tennis players to have won a Banks champion. There aren't much road tennis players who have won a Banks champion, but there don't seem to be much known about you. I'll talk about you where road tennis is concerned. I see you have a smile on your face. Let's hear.
Well, I come from the Deacon Shore area, mainly in Brandon. And I grew up around a lot of road tennis, especially played down in Brandon myself, but down in Brandon and in the farm. So I grew up in a time in Brandon with Junior Austin, Richard Scanterbury, Samuel World, mainly the three top players down there then, during my time, yeah. So I came up, playing among those guys. And then eventually I elevated my game to the farm courts, the Adihana courts. But looking back, I remember the days when they used to have teams in road tennis. The farm they always had an A and B team, sometimes a C team. The farm had so many players, so I go way back in the 70s. So that's where I come up through road tennis, and it was a real love of the sport. Love to play it. It's very a lot of exercise, You gotta be very movable, and I really enjoy that part.
I seem to be working for you, because this is the first time I have met you, and like you mentioned before, you're still a bit young in road tennis, maybe has something to do with that. We have Mr. Gill here. I don't know what the questions.
Yeah, well, again, going back, I just, like Dr. was saying, this is basically called a conversation with a Banks champion. And we hope that as we go on that we would speak to more of the Banks champions. Mark happened to be in Barbados at this time, so we decided that, we'd make use of the time he's here, and so graciously invited us into his lovely home here in Barbados to have this conversation. I want to say also to all of you road tennis fans worldwide, Happy New Year, right? Now Banks, a little bit about Banks here, because I did a little bit of research before coming and speaking to some people that are involved in Banks, some names like historians of tennis, so to speak, like Philip Garner and Dyson Parroch, who gave me a little background. And they said Banks was started around 1974, 75, something at that time. It lasted until the early 90s, and it would have came about by Mr. Les Hall, who was the great West Indian fast bowler. He was the PRO officer at Banks during those days, and he initiated and helped get the tournament sponsored. He would have left after a period of time, but he still went on again, right? Now Banks produced some legends of the game, all right, some names that are still talked about today, and they were the forerunner, basically, of all the other tournaments that followed. Now, this is no disrespect to other champions of other championship tournaments, but Banks legends are still talked about up to today, and they're part of tennis history. So we just thought that that we would kind of like have a conversation with them to get their say on how it was back in the day. Now there were 13 by my research. Mr. Parroch and Mr. Faulkner, there were 13 Banks champions, right? And among them were not in this order, but Anthony Limp Richardson, Anton Delman Daniel, Julian Michael Jackson White, Orman Hoyt, Edward Darboe Carrington, Dyson Parroch, Curtis Stocks Bailey, Anderson Blackdoor Richards, Anderson St. George Seeley, Charles McEnroe Griffith, Anthony Tiny Jordan, Philip Nicky Bryan, and Mr. Mark Cox here we're talking to, and who is going to be the first person that we are having a conversation with.
Before you go, you have to mention the female champion, Sandra Bailey.
Yes,
she's the Banks champion,
right? Special mention, right?
Yes. She won 18.
18?
18, yeah.
Right.
So
Because, you know, some of these champions that's mentioned, some of them won it, I think 4 times. Lynn Richardson won it 4 times. Julian Jackson won it 4 times also. And I think Curtis Soxabailey also won it 4 times.
Yeah.
But you got to get
Brent Santia, she's the most decorated bike champion.
Bike champion.
Yeah,
18 times.
Yeah.
So Mark, like I was saying, you know a little bit about yourself. I know you would have left Barbados and went overseas. Where you still live.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when I left, I was actually the champ. I left in 82 of June, so it was just a couple, 3-4 months before we get back into the tournament. So when I left, I went there. Since they had spent some time in the military lifetime. But once I get back to New York, they began playing road tennis again. So I was still active in road tennis. Anyway, about 2000, 2002, 2003, So we played a lot of road tennis down there. So we saw a lot of guys come through, you know.
A matter of fact, on that note, we got a little group called New York, Barbados Beijing that go up there every year. Myself, Tito, Scotty, Eddie, and a few others who go up there. We have a little friendly competition, so to speak, with the New Yorkers up there. And I remember I went there must about nearly 10 years ago. I hear about Mark Cox, and I happened to meet you on the parks there at Lincoln Terrace.
Lincoln Terrace.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the first place I started playing.
Right. And I had a couple of games with you, and I was saying, like, I heard this man, you know, past champion, you know, and I really saw some glimpses of what you would be back in the day. But it's something I got to ask you during we talking here that I tried to, you know, capitalize on. You know, it's basically your background.
Right.
God was saying that you didn't have the background. But I saw that you were so fast on your feet.
That was the main thing, the quickness, getting around the court. Yes.
Right. But you know, you could have played background, didn't you?
I never had a background back then, none at all.
Yeah.
No, it was always getting around and, you know, either maneuvering myself to get the ball off and back on, but still getting back to the full round.
But that case, you had to be really fast.
Right,
Or you had to
right.
be smart enough to put the ball in a position where you get back to your favorite spot.
Exactly. That was one of the key plays too. You know,
Right.
make the guy put it back. If you know the guy that you're playing, you know his style, you can always, you know, even with his style, play his style and still beat him sometimes. I did that.
Yeah.
Mainly about moving the ball around the court. Make that guy run too. You make you run, you make him run. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get in the right position. So.
Yeah, Mark, just give us a little background of when you were growing up, how the tennis environment was and so on, because I believe you started playing as a youngster and you developed as you got older, but as a youngster, how the environment was, I mean, in terms of the court, was it painted, did you have a net or whatever, what type of ball you guys used and so on?
No, I didn't see the court, just about all the courts are painted now. Back then we was playing on the Bear Barber Green. And the only painted court was the one in the front, which was down there around between Ocean and Neptune. And that was the only painted court until we get the hard court, and then they build up the court actually. So it's a build up court with a little cement where the ball, you to tell that the ball is off, it was slide when it hit off. That was the main thing. But mostly it was a neighborhood sport. The guys would play around across, we used to go across the gap in front of Coconut Grove. There was a court there. And other than that, there was the courts in the farm. You know.
So when the bike store was already started, it already started at Beacon's hard court. It started somewhere in the neighborhood?
My first bike tournament was down in the farm, inside the farm.
On the hard court or?
Not on the hard court. Like I said, it was a car park. And you know, they painted the green and on Sundays, everything moved out, and that was the tennis court.
I'm sure as a boy, you probably had some idols, you know, tennis idols at the time, who were like adults who were pretty good.
You see like Dalton Carmichael, Ricky Williams, Keith Griffith. That's the era down here. You see even Junior Austin, he was a member of the farm team, you know, so it had to be pretty hard to play. You know, I had Richardson, you know, there was a couple of Richardson, I remember his nickname.
Lip Richardson? Is Lip
Lip was, there's another Richardson there that would also play. Froggy, to call him Froggy. He was one that was a good player. Junior Cox. You know, those were the type of guys that were really playing with tennis and was good at.
Pierce was from down there too.
I'm Pierce.
Pierce
Wasn't Pierce a bank
No,
champion?
he wasn't, you know, he wasn't.
I understand that Pierce, you know, I could speak in on the thing over the term, but I don't think he was one of the first Ireland champions.
And he was number one for a long time. I mean, Pierce was number one. You know.
I just thought he never won a bank tournament. I mean, suffice to say that I don't mean he wasn't great, but some people don't enter for whatever reason or whatever, or getting a quote because, you know. But tell me something. So were you in several banks tournaments before you finally win?
I think I was in one more before that. That was the previous year in 1980.
You won in what year you won?
81. Previous year, I think I went to the semifinals, and it was the historic match against Roach. That was every time they're talking about that's what they bring up that particular match. It was really a good game. Played 7 games, and it was a lot of remembering a lot of different things.
So Paul went on to win that year.
Paul went on to beat me that year, and I can't remember. I think I play Par in next year in the final, but I think Allman beat Par in the 85. Yes.
It used to be what, 2 best of 3 or 2 best of 5?
3 best and 5.
Right through? Or?
2 after about the quarterfinals, and then you go 3 and 5 from the semis.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
No, this is I didn't ask about the balls. I guess you guys used
Well, the ball was ordinary tennis ball, and we skin it, and we play until it gets smooth. We play with it until it gets smooth, man. And that was it.
Back in days, did you have a coach or?
No, but you had guys around, you know, telling you what to play and what's not, what you should do. Like I remember Chelsea. Chelsea should be a popular in RoadTennis. Them he and
Chelsea.
Right, something Limp brother. Okay. Mainly the 2 of them always be in my corner, right? And then and plus when I need practice, I also had Chelsea, and Limp brother was always in tournaments too. So we always practice.
You know what always made me when I watch old footage? How you guys play and the crowd should be right on you.
Yes.
Basically, I mean, there were stories where that Paul was playing with any court and you get the crowd pushing back over. You know, so it's amazing how the pressure can also the pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that felt right in your ears, you know what I mean? And right on you, you know, no room.
Well, you know, any kind of old sport you look at, that's how the crowd was, always up on the game, you know. So,
but you guys have made the concentration and this concentration level.
Yeah.
You guys was really amazing that you still focus.
Focus on the game, on serve and what's not. So.
Yeah.
But who was your opponent like in the competition that you won? You remember?
I thought it was Par.
Was Par?
I thought it was Par.
Par would have been the final.
Par would be in the finals.
You in the final. But leading up to Par, who would you remember?
I think I may play Allman.
Allman in the finals?
No, semifinals.
Semifinals?
Yeah, I think I may play Allman in that semifinals. You know, Bushall, he's always like a Bushall against the farm.
Right, okay.
Back then, you had your guys from the Orleans, the guys from the Bayland, and the guys from Carolina Village. You know, they always come down 1, 2, 3. You know, they always got somebody representative from those areas.
Yeah.
And mainly it was just St. Michael's. Right. Guys from the Pines, guys from the Pine, Black Rock. You know, but really it was mainly St. Michael going against St. Michael.
That was really tournaments already started in the urban St. Michael area.
Right. And then they had the teams where it was sponsored by different companies. Georgia Paint, you know, bikes, something Coca-Cola, BIM. That time you had BIM factory and them over there. So
Like I had asked you earlier about your background versus rumor that you didn't have a background.
It's still true. It's true, but it wasn't a rumor. That was true.
But the thing is that I'm certain that your opponents would have known that too.
Oh yeah.
And try to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and their actually thing was to serve to my back arm, beat me to the back arm. So I know that's where they're going. So I just had to prepare myself for that.
Fast on your feet.
Right. It's all about the speed. That time I was young, you know, 18, 19. So.
You guys used to do any kind of training, any kind of training regimen?
Well, I used to mainly train. I used to like to run, so I used to go on the beach and to get myself built up in the hot sun, 1 o'clock sun, and to give you a lot of.
Well, another thing too, you mentioned hot sun. These tournaments were played in the sun.
And these tournaments now?
No, back then.
Yes, it's playing in the sun, yeah.
How long they run for? A bike tournament run for how long?
It start August. Finals September, I would say. The finals will be in November for Independence Time. And then every Sunday, the tournaments will play.
And who were the main organizers at that time? Organizing
That
this
was,
tournament?
I know Bino was the main organizer. He did about just about everything that I knew.
Well, that's fine.
Last
Lance
Bino,
Bino, okay.
He's a popular man.
yeah, he was out there.
So what time saw the games will start? What time did they
9 o'clock in the morning.
9 o'clock in the morning.
9 o'clock, and then they get finished about 1:30.
Well, that's when it's going to be sun.
Right, but the finals always play in the afternoon, about 3 o'clock. They will start.
Um,
Yeah, finals play in the afternoon.
But always play in sunlight.
Sunlight, always
Not
outside.
floodlights, no
Always
floodlights.
outside. Yes, the floodlights are nothing, so it's always outside. So.
Why you ask about training? You got to remember the late Orman got arrested in this grade.
Orman?
Orman.
I know Pass.
Yeah, Orman Horton passed a couple of years now, right? But
I know that.
Yeah, but he also tell me, talk about his training, because he was a serious
Right.
trainer. He said he's a man, he would walk from town to Spicestown. You know, don't get the bus down and walk back. He used to like go on the beach and run a walk.
Right, I know back then he used to be always on the beach.
He used to use a lot of herbs and stuff. He used to really prepare himself, you know, for tennis, you know. You know, I know some of the guys now that really got training regimens too, but
Yes, it's quite different now than what I've seen. They're playing indoors,
yeah.
you know, and everybody got a manager, you know, and the crowd. The crowd inside is it's pretty good crowd, pretty good crowd. Yeah. And then I'm seeing now that you got more females involved
Yeah.
and junior
A
champions.
lot of
And the
juniors.
juniors and the
That's another thing too. You were there, were there a lot of juniors playing?
No, we had a junior competition. That time was fly. Fly. It was Adrian Ford against the guy from Bouchon. The fly was from the farm, so that's where he represented, and the guy from Bouchon. Young. I think he went on to be a champ. Griffith, I think.
I know. I understand Charles Griffith.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, Anton Daniel was
Anton
a
Daniel.
champion too.
Right.
Anton Daniel.
Yeah.
Champion too.
So yeah, that's what it. And really, it was a big entries for the juniors and the women, but it used to be good competition. You know, guys could play as well. But now I'm seeing the schools and everything is
Yes,
involved. Which
I
is
mean
good.
a testament to the administration. Now, the last administration we had, which was under Patrick Bradwell and Blank, they put a lot of focus on youth.
And you.
I think until we got some great youth, we got a good 15 to 20 of them that had to keep on with it. We got some tennis to go on, which is what we need in any sport.
Right.
We need that continuation, you know.
You mentioned about the tennis, the modern tennis now. But how would you compare tennis back then in the 80s, 70s, 80s to this era? How would you compare the level of this tennis?
This level here is what I'm seeing is pretty high, higher than us, and the ball moves a lot faster. The ball seems to move a lot faster now. It's pretty good, pretty exciting to see.
You have any favorites in this modern era?
Well, the champion now, which is
Mark Griffith.
but he's from down in Brandon.
Right,
So he came from down there. He told me he saw me playing when he was growing up. So I like his style. And now the young guy from Bouchon, who he played in the last fight,
Shaquille Nurse.
Shaquille Nurse, he's really good in the face type. He's good.
You know, there's always talk, about, back in the day, how would have done against a limp or socks. You always try to compare, but in any sport, you know what I mean? In boxing, you talk about Muhammad Ali against Joe Louis. You know how they would have done it against Mike Tyson. But I think it's unfair. Once a man, in my opinion, be whoever put, because you can't determine who put in front of you. You be the best at time in front of you.
Right.
You got to compare with that. But when you try to match them to two eras together, you don't always run into, even when you put it on the computer, because they have some computer books with Muhammad Ali and other boxers. But you can't, but they always talk about, Link back in the day, or this boy back in the day was taking care easily, or somebody now,
I think the generation really makes, that generation gap makes a difference, as things evolve, things get better, right? So,
But the guys back there, they used to hit the ball more hard than the guys now. That's the main thing I see in the game. But one outstanding, every time I watch these guys play, Venom and them play, it always remind that whole game fit into exactly what these guys are doing now. That whole game, yes. That whole
he
game.
was a defender.
No, Dabo was the attacker.
Yeah.
But this game, the way how he used to move the ball around the court is the same thing these guys are doing now. Yeah, well, very good. Very good. I mean, he always play a lot. He practice a lot, you know, anytime. Yeah.
When you playing when you play those games, right? The championship, you used to come in with a mindset, with a game plan, or you just come and play and whatever happen, or you had a game plan.
Well, if you know how the person plays, you know, and if he's strong in the back arm, sometimes I try to neutralize the back arm.
Okay.
And once I neutralize the back arm, the forearm is easy.
So
If a man's back arm is not working the way he wants, it becomes, you know, frustrating.
right.
It'll be hard for him to change his game.
Okay.
So yeah, and once that neutralized, you can go through the forearm, and mostly I was like an attacker. I go through your back arm and then straight through the forearm.
Okay. Right. And you basically know all the players, so you had a little understanding.
Most of them,
the
yes.
player.
Yeah. But then you always hope to hit the ball in the net or hit it out. So that's the main thing, you get the point. So yeah.
Who was one of the most difficult players you ever compete with?
I always said Dabo he could beat you anytime. Dabo's game. And then Part1.
The chopping style.
Yeah, Part1 had that chopping style that was, I mean, you don't care how you put it, coming back at the chop.
What about Tiny Jordan? You never played him? Or
I never remember playing Tiny.
he came after?
I think he came after me. Yeah. Remember Nicky? Nicky then at my time was one of the top guys in Bushon. Nicky and Walmart.
Nicky Bryan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of the vice
Right.
champions.
Yeah, he was the vice champion. But I never met him.
So basically, when you went in bank tournaments back in the day, most, like you said, a lot of the players would be from Bushard.
Bushon and the farm.
So I think Bushard probably, on an average, probably would have won the most tournaments.
Maybe favored to win, but you know.